Okay, to work with an image. Now, remember that you don't necessarily have to work with an image. I am because I want to trace an image, but you can just kind of do a free form, and I'll show you on another video how you can do that, where you can just do a nameplate or some type of design or something randomly. But in this case, once again, I'm going to trace some artwork that I wanted to do. So to do that, to set the image to scale, I'm just going to go into my XR command for XREF, which we're going to be using a little later. And I'm going to right click somewhere in here, and I'm going to go to attach image. So I'm going to go attach an image, and I'm going to go to wherever I have it saved. In my case, it's under the downloads folder. Just go and navigate to downloads. And then this is the image I want to bring in. Hit open, and you can leave it to scale and hit OK, and go ahead and place the image. Enter. Okay. Now in this case, I do want to set it to a scale, to real size. There's a reason why I want this sugar skull. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this one 90 degrees. Okay. Oops. I guess let me rotate it 180 from here. There we go. Um, I want this skull to be a certain size. So because of that, I put a reference on my picture, because this is just a picture off my phone. And I put a tape measure. That way I can have, and just bear in mind that whenever you're working with an image, it's just going to be a very rough, not a rough size, but it's going to be not super exact, if I can say that, because it's just a picture. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale the image to be, for the tape measure, that's why I put it there, to be 1 inch from the 2 inch to the 3 inch mark. Because once you put it in, there really is no reference to it. If I just measure from one to here, see it's 0.08, so it doesn't really make a big major reference. So I'm going to go ahead and scale. Using my scale command, I'm going to scale the image and base point. From where do I want to scale it from? Since I have my tape measure here, I'm just going to pick a point somewhere here, kind of in the middle of that line. And then I'd ask for a scale factor. Now I don't have the scale factor, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my reference right in here for reference. And then the reference length is going to be this point right here. And then I'm going to go orthographically F8. And it doesn't have to be orthographic. I just chose to do that from this point to this point. So it's going to be those 2 points is going to be my reference distance. It's going to be this point here and this point right there. So those 2 points, now it's asking what's the new length of those 2 points that I just picked. I want it to be 1. So it kind of defaults to 1, and I want it to be 1 inch. So I'm just going to leave it, and I hit enter, because it's going to accept the 1 inch default that's there, and hit enter, and there it is. Okay. So now if I go over here and measure it, I can measure from this point to this point. And again, it's not going to be super exact, but it's going to be very, very close. I'm just referencing a picture, so that's pretty much as close as I can get. Once again, you don't have to necessarily scale it. It's just that I wanted to have that reference, because I do want the sugar skull to be a particular size, specifically from the artwork that I did, which is why I put a tape measure. Can you use a picture off the internet? Yes, you can. You can go to the internet just to search images. You'll have to download the image. You need to make sure you download an actual image file, because when you go in here, attach image, it's only going to specifically look for image files. So you got to be careful in what you download. I guess let me see if I can do that to find a good example of that. Like, let's say I wanted to download a car. Um, or a car picture or something. I'm not sure. Just something, and go to images. And let's say I want to do an outline of a car, like this one here, for example. So if I right click on it, I can do save image as, but I need to make sure that it's saving an actual JPEG. That right there would actually give me the image that I need. And in this case, it might not be a very good resolution. I'm going to go ahead and save this one from, it looks like it's going to be like a thumbnail, which means it's not going to be a very good high resolution image. So let's go see what that looks like. Attach image. Go to my downloads. There it is. Hit open and place it. And I might luck out where it might actually look pretty decent. And this one, well, you can kind of see it's a little bit rough, but you can trace that still and get that. So you might just take some time, invest some time on looking for a good image. Sometimes you might have to actually go into click on the image itself, and then from here, see how this is the resolution, this is a lot better. So I'm going to right click here, save image as, and once again, it does need to say JPEG. If it says something different, I'm going to try to find I guess let me do this one here, save image as, just to see the resolution on this one. Save, it's going to put in the downloads, very good. Going to go to AutoCAD, right click, attach image. Here's the one I just selected. Okay, and once again, you can kind of see the size of this. This is already 1 inch, so this whole thing is going to be probably about 4 or 5 inches wide. Now, even wider than that. Now, if I click and place this one, if I don't scale it, it's going to be pretty small. But you can probably use this one for tracing purposes and trace it real nicely, or all the outline that you want to do. It'll be a lot better than something that's a little bit more pixelized when you detach this one. Just to kind of compare one with the other, just to give you some ideas on what you can do. Once again, you don't have to do this. It's just something I chose to do. You can kind of see the resolution of one versus the other. If you wanted to go and trace like the rims and the wheels and the headlights, it'll be a lot easier to do that here than this one, because this one's going to be a little bit harder to see. So it's just getting a matter of getting a good image. The next video will show you how we're going to start tracing it.